and this is a little segment I like to call Post-Apocalyptic Thoughts. Call it that because apocalypse, in Greek or tradition, if you will, is to uncover or unveil something. An awakening, a revelation. We think of it as some horrible event, but it's really not. So, this was a long, long night for me. My general readings have gotten to be a bit shorter as of late, 7 to 15 minutes on average. They used to be more around 30, and I'd break them up. So tonight I wasn't really expecting to do 20 plus video, or 20 plus minute videos. I only did 4 or 5. But that's the thing. It's time to really reevaluate life. That is the takeaway. I used a different deck for each one, and I noticed I was a lot of trends and a lot of letting go, moving on, etc. in each reading for different reasons and from different situations. So I just found it very interesting. And I think the takeaway right now truly is to reevaluate. It's about questioning everything and accepting things for what they are, but changing what can be changed. The old poem and whatnot, okay? So I think that would be my overall take on it, is just, to exist in such a way that we recognize when things need to change before we are forced to change them. We see the patterns before they're brought to our attention. It's a level of self-awareness that we all hope to have, okay? I happen to be an overly self-aware person. It makes me a bit critical of others. That's another thing to look out for. Are you being too critical of someone, holding them to the standard of yourself rather than the standard of what you need from someone else? Nobody's ever going to provide you but what you provide you. So why should they have to prove that they can when they're never going to do it? Standards are important and boundaries are even more important. That was another big takeaway. And if you watch the general reading, you get some insight on these cards and sort of like how I ended up doing this setup and everything. But lots of channeled messages this evening. It was 122 and 222. So look up angel number 222. I feel like that's about new beginnings and whatnot. That's the thing with Libra season, 1, 2, 3, at this time of year. This is the harvest, and so it's kind of like looking at what we've harvested this past year. Are you satisfied with your crops? Are you satisfied with the outcome? Or are you moving on to something better and greater? And it's interesting, intermittently between my videos, I was having a conversation with a dear friend who's more of an astrologer and a highly intuitive queen, absolutely. And we were talking about the years, and we agreed that this year was not nearly as good as last year, which is strange because so many people had such a horrible year last year, and I really struggled a lot more this year. I've become more myself, and I've grown in confidence and maturity and all that, done a lot of healing, but overall it was a bit mediocre compared to last year for me personally. And we discussed a theory. I brought it up and she said, I've heard this before, about how the even and odd numbers can really affect 323. I know it's kind of like an obvious thing when we're going minute by minute like this, but at the same time, I was just really feeling the numbers, feeling the synchronicity. Just like burnt incense. Actually, I'm not even gonna light this, but I want to smell it. It's jasmine. I don't know. You could look up. I was burning a lot of lavender and jasmine incense tonight. Lavender obviously is good for stress relief and to alleviate anxiety, as well as help sleep and restlessness. I don't really know what jasmine's for, but I always was delighted by the smell. Even when I was a child and kids my age thought it smelled like old people, I have always loved the smell of jasmine. So kudos to that. Write some shit down. We got a full moon coming out, right? Write it down. Make it real. Okay, new moon is great for a pencil draft. Full moon's great for an ink blot. Okay. Any other post-apocalyptic thoughts? What else did we learn tonight? That seems alright. That seems good. That seems like it. So, cool. Just a little recap in case you missed it. Feel free to watch some of the other videos, especially if you have strong placements of the other elements, or if you're dealing with anyone in your life, you can peep in on them as well. And please do tell me how you feel. As always, I love feedback and to show love and receive love. So share the wealth or whatever. I don't really know what that's about, but also you are supposed to tip on this card. I didn't bring it up the whole day. She's been sitting here, but that's sort of a thing with us, so you do owe me something. All right, so get your freak on. Okay, I love you all very much, and I will be back as soon as tomorrow or tonight. All right, I will see you next time. Thank you so much.